does the road ahead really look like as far as higher education in India is concerned? As we keep talking about the demographic dividend of having a country with the largest number of youngsters in the world very, very soon. But how really are we going to capitalize on all of that, especially as far as education is concerned? That's what we're looking at. So many of you writing into us to ask where admissions are going to head this year, the possible cutoffs. Well, we really wish we had a crystal ball to look into it and tell you what the cutoffs are going to look like. But we've got experts who have that experience to give us some idea of what you should be expecting and why, which is very key, why you should not lose hope just yet. Well, hang on to that. Let me introduce our special panel, Dr. P.C. Jain, former Principal SRCC, Dr. Vijay Datta, Principal Modern School, Barakhamba, Usha Albuquerque, Founder and Director, Career Smart, and Dr. Sanjay Srivastav, VC of Manav Rachna University. Thanks all so much for being with us. Usha, I'd like to start by asking you, in your experience, and you've sort of been looking at admissions, courses, results for so many years now, and many would say that things are really getting worse, or the anxiety, the panic is just really deeply entrenched now, whether it's the families, the parents, the student itself, and so on and so forth. Is there a feeling that we just seem to be letting down our students over and over again?
Yes, I think so, because this problem is multidimensional, and one really would spend hours discussing it. But basically, the problem is not enough college seats for the number of students that want to get in. And the ones that are available, really the only ones students access are the top institutes. Other than that, most of them are really not of much value for the students. So when you're looking at such small numbers, it's not surprising that it's the institutions that have to keep raising the bar to take the students, and therefore the cutoffs keep rising.
I'll take that to Dr. Jain now. As one of the top institutions, you were involved one of the country's top most reputed institutions, SRCC. Cutoffs there, just like we've seen for so many top colleges, and Delhi University in particular, really soaring year after year. So if I were to ask you in your personal opinion, if the 100% cutoff or a student with 100% really speaks for his or her merit, is marks all that matters, sir?
I think whatever criteria we decide, if the student performing according to that, you can't challenge those students. Meaning by, in case if we are setting the wrong parameters of judging the performance of a student, so naturally what is the fault of a student? Over a period of time, 60, 70 years, our education is totally centralized. Okay, like nowadays you must be noticing that even there is a model syllabi for prepared by the UGC for all the colleges across the country. What is this? It means few people will decide and rest of the country will take care of. Once you will decide the common syllabus, meaning by college question paper, common question paper, and you will evaluate in the common way. So getting 100% marks is not a big thing.
But if I were to ask you, sir, if it was in your hand, how would you judge a student's merit? How would you evaluate a student who came to you for admission, ideally, in an ideal world?
We all talks from morning to evening.
It's a professional hazard sometimes.
That the entire examination system is based on reproducing, not on the basis of understanding of the knowledge, not application part, and therefore neither we have prepared our teachers for that, and nor we have asked for that. So ultimately what happens? The question paper is set in such a manner which is easy to evaluate. Even a day is coming when computer will assess the evaluation, not even the teacher is involved.
Dr. Datta, how do you respond to all of that? We heard say talk about the liberal marking, points that Dr. Jain has raised about the schooling system. We'll get into the quality of teachers and teaching across the country, both in schools and colleges a little later. But how do you address these concerns?
Well, we always have been criticizing the education, but not have been taking the corrective measures.
True.
If I may speak for CBSE for a while, they have made an attempt this time. The kind of questions that were there were application based. They were supposed to use their own knowledge and get the inferences out. It was inferential, and the higher order thinking came into play. But I thought the principals got butterflies in their stomachs when they saw this kind of change, and we went on defensive all of a sudden.
Just, if I may interrupt you, sir, there, where does that come from? It comes from a fear of sort of one school worrying about results and sort of not matching up to,
absolutely.
98% of our students got 95 and above. Those kind of figures that are thrown at us.
Yes, that of course will happen. The cutoffs are likely to drop, though marginally, because we have also the state boards, we also have the ICSC. So it won't matter in a big way, and the moderation, of course, is in place. It's going to come in after the teachers. Also, not totally incorrect while they have protested, because this change has been all of a sudden. Had it been gradual, students, teachers would have better prepared themselves.
Dr. Srivastava, there are so many private universities now who've sort of added really to the plethora of universities and educational institutions that we have. How do you see universities like yourself as players in this system, where every university, every institution obviously wants the best? And that is determined, unfortunately, by these marks, which are 95. Last year, we had students with 95% saying that they are not getting through anywhere.
Experience is a bad teacher. It gives its test first and learning afterwards. We need to relook at our complete evaluation paradigm, and we have to move from output to a outcome oriented culture, because employers are not coming to hire institution, they are coming to hire individuals. Now, all those who got 100+%, I would say, got some of the best colleges of the Delhi University and around. At the end of 3 years, where they have reached, at the end of 5 years, 10 years down the line, what they have achieved. And we need to relook the way we teach to our students, and in the process, especially in class 12th, we are inculcating more a sense of anticipated anxiety rather than the real anxiety. Real anxiety is always healthy and anticipated is always bad. As a private institution, as a private university, we believe in grooming our students in totality, and our approach is always to give them best of the West and best of the East and prepare them in totality.
And that isn't the case, Dr. Jain, in many other places, right? You just need to come waving that 98% and then you're sort of almost assured in many places. Usha making the point earlier that you can see how many of these students were doing so well very often, unfortunately not able to string two sentences together.
If you look my own alumni of SRCC over a period of 80 or 90 years, I am proud of them. I collected,
undoubtedly.
I collected more than 70 crore from my alumni over a period of 9 years as a principal of the college. They are on a very high positions.
Absolutely.
I mean, so how can we say that they are not competent, they are not properly educated? The problem is that
I'm not asking you, sir, just a quick clarification. I'm not asking you just to speak on behalf of SRCC, which of course being like really getting the cream of the cream and really being absolutely coveted and top end. But for more institutions in that bracket, and even those who don't really measure up to those standards.
Ultimately, the country has to value the talent, you know. Because without talent, we cannot survive. We can't be a #1 country in the world or something like this. And everybody can't be of that type.
Of course.
Everyone could be given a space, an opportunity. Every student is given 12 years to come up to the expectations. Parents, why parents are unnecessarily agitated now? They have been given 12 years completely. And they know the system. And they know what will be the mechanism of getting admission in the higher education of this country, whatever good or bad it is. So I think since they are not preparing well, and therefore there is a reason of anxiety.
The question is also not why every student should not make it to SRCC. It's that why shouldn't every student find the right fit for him or her? Why shouldn't there be something for someone? 60% is also a reality. Why should that person not get a space
There should be
anywhere?
other criteria other than marks.
Which should be what, Usha, if you were to
There are a whole lot of things. Your personality, your ability to interact with others, your social skills, your communication skills, your desire for learning, your aspirational levels. There's so many things that need to be assessed, which in most other developed countries, they assess by means of different. They have a test, but they also have an essay that you write, an interview that you go through, and you know, all of those are marked.
While we are in this rat race and assembly line production to create 95%ers, 95%ers and so on and so forth, do you see this happening?
We miss out on the qualitative evaluation. And just picking out of what Professor was just talking about SRCC, I would like to make a little statement here. Any views that I'm giving here are my personal, I mean not of the institution that I had.
Now we're looking forward to them even more.
Yes, so one can be more candid that way, you would appreciate. So what I was saying is, there should be the qualitative evaluation when a child goes to the colleges, not just the quantitative. His marks should be taken into account, but also a test where the soft skills, the communication skills, the other life skills can be tested, for which he is trained in class 10. They should not be forgotten all of a sudden once he is passed out of class 10 with everyone getting a good CGPA, like these schools generally do. So, if that's my view, of course, I said.
We are public funded colleges or schools, government college, schools, something like this. You are accountable to the whole world in 10 rupees, isn't it? You have to be little objective. You have to produce your papers even in the court of law. If you are taking the qualitative assessment, anybody can question your integrity. And the funding agency can question you. Then how you will answer? Therefore, I am telling you.
You're saying it's not really, it's open to.
Absolutely.
Sort of it's more,
they don't allow us
maybe
to
more flexible
have
or whatever.
Interview of a student. How
there
can
will
a
always
college
be thoughts of some vested interest or some quota or
That
something like that will come in.
What I personally feel, if we doubt ourselves, then we can't get anywhere.
I want to look at that in just a bit. I want to look at that in just a bit. But slipping into a quick break, back with lots more, including some of the questions that some of you have sent in. We're going to try and see if the panel can respond to those as well. Back after this quick break.